Okay, from the previous video where I spoke about the orientation of the character, this here sets the velocity, and the way I do the velocity is based on the orientation of the character. So the biggest difference I have with my character versus the jazz game is that in the jazz game, you have two thumbsticks, and you can run in one direction and look in a different direction. So you have running backwards and sideways and things like that. In mine, I didn't want to do that. I want to just have a typical character control where because it's not a shooter, uh, you don't run in one direction and shoot in a different one. You're always looking in the direction that you're running in. So if you push down, you look down and you run down. You push up, you look up and you run up. So because of that, I could actually use this setting over here, which I didn't initially use. I mean, I went through various iterations of creating the character controls. I initially had much longer trees going down here of events and things happening, and sequences and stuff being calculated. But I keep I keep coming back to things, and I keep trying to find different ways and better ways of doing things. And so I ended up with this one, which I think is about the simplest way I could figure out to do it. I'm sure there's other ways, but so this is the way I've got it right now. Also on the repeat, so it keeps doing the velocity. It keeps setting the velocity. There's probably two ways of doing this, which is allowing the velocity to, when you push the key, it's pressed, and you set a set velocity, and when you release it, you set it back to 0. But I decided to actually do it on the repeat, so it's a simple. It just makes it simpler for me to deal with. I do I do actually use the released on this to set the velocity back to 0 though. But I found that on the repeat I could have better control over the actual speed, and it might be things that I don't know about. Like a different way of doing it or whatever, but like I said, this is the way I've got it right now, and it seems to work pretty good. So all this is doing is it's setting the velocity, and like I said, it's doing it based on where you look. So if the character rotates 90 degrees, he's gonna run in that direction. You don't have to actually set a velocity into that direction. You just I just set a single velocity, which is x, and that's it. And as long as you're looking in the direction that you want to go in, he's going to go in that direction. And then my velocity, the velocity mag here, I'm not 100% sure what this does, but it seems to set the actual speed. So on this one, I put 1 on x, so that's the axis that I want to give the velocity to, and this is the speed, and that's a variable, so I set that in a different place in my variables over here. And yeah, so in these ones, in this one, I just get the vector amount, and then I set them back using some named variables, so I can do some calculations on them in same as in the walking speed. I can't remember now if I still use these, but we'll see. I know I created them for a specific reason at some point, and I can't remember now if I still actually use them in my current iteration of movement controls and things. Okay, so yeah, that's all the that's the actual character motion and the orientation and stuff. It's set up through these. Um, it's actually fairly simple. I think it looks more complicated than it really is. So yeah, uh, I think for the next stuff, I'll jump that over to the next video. Let me just see where. Yeah, so my extra stuff here. So I'll jump this over to the next video.